Welcome, young learners. In this unit, we're going to dive into the wonderful world of stories and poems. Over the next few weeks, you'll discover how to spot the big ideas or themes in stories and learn how different points of view can change the way a story is told. We'll also explore what makes poetry special and how it's different from regular stories or plays. By the end, you'll be able to compare stories from different cultures, rewrite stories in new ways, and understand how poets use rhyme and structure to create meaning. Let's get started on this exciting journey together. Every story has a message or a lesson it wants to share. This is called the theme. Sometimes, the theme is easy to spot because the author tells you directly. Other times, you have to look for clues in what the characters say and do. For example, a story about a lost puppy finding its way home might have a theme about friendship or never giving up. As you read, ask yourself, what is this story really about? What lesson can I learn from it? Finding the theme helps you connect with the story and understand its deeper meaning. Sometimes, the author tells you the theme right out loud. This is called a stated theme. Other times, you have to figure it out yourself by thinking about what happens in the story and how the characters change. That's an implied theme. For example, if a character learns to be brave, but the story never says be brave, you can still figure out that's the theme. Paying attention to the character's actions, words, and feelings will help you spot both stated and implied themes in any story you read. Stories can be told from different points of view. Sometimes the narrator is a character in the story, using words like I or we. This is called first-person narration. Other times the narrator is outside the story, using words like he, she, or they. That's third-person narration. The point of view changes how we see the story and what we know about the characters. Try reading the same story from both points of view to see how it feels different. Understanding point of view helps you see the story from new angles. It's important to know the difference between the narrator and the characters. The narrator tells the story, but the characters live in it. Sometimes, the narrator is also a character, but not always. The narrator might know everything, or just what one character knows. Paying attention to who is telling the story helps you understand what information you're getting and why. This skill is especially useful when comparing different stories or when stories are told in unusual ways. One fun activity is reading myths and folk tales from different cultures and comparing their themes. Even though the stories might be very different, you'll often find similar lessons, like being kind or brave. Look for quests or challenges the characters face and see how they solve their problems. Comparing stories helps you understand that people everywhere have important lessons to share, no matter where they come from. Stories can be written in different forms: prose, drama, and poetry. Prose is regular writing, like what you see in most books. Drama is written like a play, with characters speaking lines. Poetry is special because it uses lines and stanzas, and often has rhyme and rhythm. Each form has its own structure, and rewriting a story as a script or a poem can help you see these differences. Understanding structure helps you enjoy and create your own stories in new ways. Poems are made up of lines and stanzas, kind of like sentences and paragraphs. Many poems use rhyme, where words sound alike, to make the poem fun to read and easy to remember. The way a poem is structured, how the lines are arranged, and how the words rhyme can help create meaning and feeling. When you read a poem, look for patterns in the lines and listen for rhyming words. This will help you understand what the poet is trying to say. Now it's your turn. Try reading a myth or folk tale from a different culture and see if you can find the theme. Or take a short story and rewrite it as a poem or a play. Look for the narrator's point of view and compare it to the characters' perspectives. Don't forget to spot the structure and rhyme in any poem you read. Practicing these skills will help you become a stronger reader and writer. Keep exploring and have fun with stories and poems.